What's up, Ready Champs here, and man, what a crazy race! That was the German Grand Prix at Hockenheim, and yeah, welcome back to Victory Lane, where we discussed all things F1 season post race. So let's get this started. Started from qualifying. Vettel's took pole, but you somehow noticed that Lewis Hamilton did not even make it past the first qualifying session, which which had me thinking that it has been an advantage for Sebastian Vettel, the German's own Ferrari racer, driver, something. But I would say that that's not the case because anything could happen in this race. It was too every race has been unpredictable. Like every race has been a point where there's a driver that can come back to win the race from the back, and today was no exception. So let's begin. Let's go out and Hockenheim. It's a go. Vettel takes the pack and he gets with really good. So far the beginning of the race is just whole rainy race, more of like a battle. So I was good. Kimi Räikkönen first told that there could be some rain. There was. So yeah, Hamilton had a big fight he started at 14th place but goes up to P11 after the first couple laps. So he's making a run. So don't count out Hamilton just yet. Even though I hear what people said, like how Hamilton always cheated trying to get the win, but actually if you haven't raced in a race car, then you have, and I want to see them try to start, even if they try to start from the back and work their way up. I can tell you, it's really hard. It's really hard to start from the back, go all the way up to front to win the race. And trust me, I tried in my F1 games. But yeah, it's been crazy race so far. Daniel Ricciardo, Daniel Ricciardo was complaining on low grip, so he has to. There was like low grip, so I'm assuming that his setup was pretty high. There were like some oversteer, or maybe it's just the rain. There are wet surfaces, but to say the least, there are some pretty good battles going on, and yeah, not say here, but but therefore there are some incidents. Bottas hits from lead, Vettel locked up, so basically it's been a crazy race of how. It's based on how well you can deal with your pit strategies, and if you get the whole undercut, then you get an advantage as long as you don't screw up. Vettel, who pitted earlier, had a lockup, so pretty much guarantee that Vettel has been like he wasted his advantage because he went for the undercut, I believe. And Stoffel was in retirement mode. So basically, Van Dorn, I don't know what happened to him. I didn't see it clearly, but he just had some issues with the car, so he retires. But however, it's not that complicated because in order for a retirement to happen, the driver and the pit crew has to see whether the car can go. If he can still continue, then he can continue. If he can't, then he has to retire. Van Dorn has a car that can race. He thinks about retiring, so it's like he thinks about giving up, but actually can continue going on. So making sure he continues his run. And the rain, in lap 45, the rain comes and sees some hecticness, some more craziness going on. But then the slippery surfaces takes a toll on some drivers. See, Perez spun onto the dirt, so at lap 51, he was still in slicks, and some of the drivers were having trouble. Like if I was racing at this point, even and they'll say like, oh, there were 2 kilometers. The rain is coming 2 kilometers and approaching. I would say, okay, just go into intermediates. Just go into intermediates because you can have an advantage. So if I would have done like that, Sainz has taken gamble. He wants to swap her enters. Like I like that strategy because he knew that okay, you're losing grip. You need more grip for races for tight corners. So he pits that one. Sebastian Vettel is out of the race, and he's at the barriers. So his soft tires, which I feel like I knew that the rain was coming, but Sebastian Vettel, I swear he had like a ballsy call just to stay out of into the race while on slick tires, and not coming for intermediates for 1 lap earlier. So technically, say the least, that he's out of race, which leaves Hamilton off to where he needed to be, since Sebastian Vettel does not have to score points. He can't score points, so therefore, Hamilton has a chance of going into the points. But speaking of points, Hamilton's already in the points, and Hamilton was off track, but he doesn't want to pit. So it was a strategy, and Raikkonen was in the lead 54th minute. But however, Hamilton and Bottas were in 1-2. Strukkin's outside. So I believe Strukkin has some issues, so he retires. He was at P14 at that point, but he retires due to issues of his engine by virtue of the smoke coming out of his car. So yeah, crazy race. That was pretty wild race. The rain played a big factor with this race. And at the end of the race, lap 66, Hamilton wins the race. He regains the championship lead. And a German win from Hamilton, after he started from 14th place and goes all the way to first place. So I believe that's a 66 race win for him. So congrats to Hamilton. And he leads the driver standings, and Mercedes retakes the lead from the constructors by virtue of their 1-2 for the season and Vettel's retirement. So yeah, let's take a look at the official results. We have Hamilton winning, with Bottas in second, going for 1-2, Mercedes 1-2. Raikkonen finished off the podium in third, Verstappen in fourth, Hulkenberg in fifth, Grosjean in sixth, Perez in seventh. Which I was surprised that Perez kept going into the points right there, even after the early incident. And Ocon finished in 8th, Ericsson in 9th, and Hartley, who finished in 10th, he got the points. I didn't know Hartley went to the points because I believe before the race he started at 0 points. So it's good for Hartley to get some points, especially 1 point, because hey, 1 point is better than getting 0 points. So rounding off the field, Magnussen finished in 11th, Sainz in 12th, and Horn, who finished in 13th, and he stayed on lead lap after he was poised to give up. So that's good for him. Gasly finished in 14th and Leclerc in 15th with one lap back. So Alonso was classified, but he retired the race. Stroll retired, retired, Strokin retired, and Ricardo retired as well. So crazy race. Overall, this race, I love this race. It's been chaotic. And if you haven't seen, I swear, if you haven't watched the race, go watch it because I bet you some people are going to complain about this race. Like, oh, this is just a boring race. But trust me, they have every like this race had everything at its finest. We had like there was some rain coming down so, out there on soft tires. There has some battles going on, some change of strategy that needs to be made, and of course, Vettel's lockup, which leads to his undercut disadvantage washing away into Bottas' lead. And Vettel, of course, Vettel started from the back after missing the qualifying one. Basically, didn't make the cut from the qualifying two, and he ended up going past 13 cars to win the race. And yeah, the weather takes the toll of several drivers in this race. So yeah, it's pretty good. And by virtue of that one, let's take a look at the driver standings. Lewis Hamilton retains the lead on Vettel with a 17-point lead. So Vettel has to Vettel has to win the next race to come back after the pretty disappointing outage. But nonetheless, Kimi Räikkönen trying to climb up. Bottas closing in. He's closing in on Kimi Räikkönen with a 9-point deficit. Two Red Bulls are battling to see who's they're going to be the number one driver by the end of the season. So the rest of them were just And imagine Hartley got like 2 points, so he got some points there. Strokin needs to pick it up, buddy. You need to pick it up because Strokin has 0 points, and he needs to get that now. But it seems that the retirement is just not in his favor. So the next race, I'm hoping for Strokin to finish the race first, and then if he's able to finish in the points, then that will be pretty humongous. And that means that the next race, if Strokin can be able to score points there, then that means everyone will have scoring points and everyone will have their score on the board. So let's take a look at constructors. Mercedes gained the lead with a 1-2 finish over Ferrari, and now they're like 8 points, separating between the two Red Bulls. Just trying to climb, but it's basically still a Mercedes versus Ferrari battle. And yeah, so anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching. This has been Victory Lane. Like this video, give a thumbs up. Just comment down below what you think of the race because I love chaotic races. Chaotic races has been my favorite type of races because anything can happen. Anything can happen within a race. Like you can see, like even if the weather comes within the middle of the race, so like it starts dry, but then the rain feel like several laps later, the rain comes and it would totally ruin your race. So yeah. Anyway, hope comment down what you think about the race and subscribe to my channel for more. The channel link will be down in the description below, and you'll see, and of course, click on the bell symbol to see so that you'll get notified on when I'm gonna upload the next videos. So anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoy. This is Champs when I read for Victory Lane, and yeah. We'll see you at BetSPA in Hungary for the Hungarian Grand Prix.